Hello, and what a great day to sew something wonderful. I'm Kia with Kia B, and I am so excited to be back with you today. I just about a half an hour ago walked in the door from a stitch day, and it's the first in-person stitch day that I've had in such a long time. And I was getting ready to unpack my bag of stitching stuff that I took with me. And I thought, I'm just gonna go ahead and film, because while I'm unpacking it, I'll just show you what I worked on, what I've worked on the last couple of months. I don't even have everything, so I'll have to pause and like go grab everything, because this was like such a last minute, hey, I should film today sort of situation. As I'm sure you've already heard, remember, this is just my reminder that Tech Guy works from home now, so he's never not working. So if you hear him chatter in the background, I apologize. He is working. So it is a wonderful Saturday night. I think we had like 65-degree weather today, which is a nice cool off. Yesterday it was, I think 83 was the highest it got, which is a little warm for May. I was just telling someone today, I've been so concerned that we're gonna skip spring, which is like some of my favorite outside time. If you follow me on Instagram, you know the last couple of summers I've really spent time like prepping my porch and like our back porch, and we have a pool and stuff like that now. And so just really trying to like make that such a cozy space, and the coziest time is in those crisp spring mornings when I can stitch outside and really like bleed into a long day outside. So I've been really concerned that we're gonna skip spring, but today gave me a little bit of hope that maybe we won't. We had tornado-like weather last night, so I think it kind of really cooled things off. So, how are you doing? It's been a little bit since I filmed. Not too long, not my long typical. It's just been a little bit long. Sorry, I just kicked the tripod. So I thought I just have my bag that I took today to stitch day, and I have my normal, I have this giant Longaberger that's actually, I think it's a Longaberger planter because it has a plastic insert, but I could be very wrong when I say that. But I just throw like everything I need to film, I throw inside all month, and then, or however long it is between filming times. So I thought I'll just put the basket here. I've got my thing I need to unload from today, and I would just share with you. But like I said, it was very last minute, so let me go grab my other stitching that is by the bed that I've been working on. Okay. I think I have everything now. I'm gonna start with stitching, and then my basket of stuff is just like things that I've bought or purchased or found or made recently. So we'll go through that. The first thing I have is Martha Miller, 1858 by Running with Needles and Scissors. This is what it looks like. Several of the Queen City Guild members started this in January, and someone broke it down to where you could complete it in like 6 or 8 months, maybe, I don't remember, maybe 9 months. And I was really trying to stay on target, and I had like this whole great plan that I thought I would love. But the best laid plans, right? And so I worked on that a little bit over the last couple of weeks. So much so that I just have a thread still connected. Let me take it out of the tube. So nothing's going to be ironed this time. Last time I told you, don't get used to the ironing. So this time it won't be ironed, but you'll be able to see it, which is lovely. I really enjoy this piece. I like, I don't know, I'm just really loving my stitching right now, which in the spring, I think is what, I think I said that the exact same thing last year. I really hope the Tech Guy is not too loud, but okay. So this is what mine looks like, and again, it is not ironed, and it has marks on it. So I've been picking this up at night and throw a few stitches in it before I go to bed. So I'm working on, I just started a swan. Where's the picture? So You can't see it super great. In fact, some people were talking about today, there are two swans right there. Some people were talking about today how they pulled one of the pale lavender colors out of the thread pack and outlined those swans. I might do that with like a pale gray or something, just to like make them pop a little bit more, but I am really enjoying that. I did switch the colors to just what I had on hand. I kit from Stash on this one, so my colors are a little bit different. I did see someone show theirs today in Show and Tell that was gorgeous and completely finished. And I have now, with my finger, just found the needle that was connected to that thread. So let me do something with that. Okay, so that is Martha Miller, and I like it a lot. It's a fun little stitch. It's not little, it's a fun stitch. So do you guys do this? I'll pull out a project bag and find like a whole like sewing kit. This is just a vintage sewing kit that I took the innards out and put scissors and stuff in, and then I leave them in a project bag and I can't ever find them again. So I'm gonna put that to the side so I don't lose it. Okay, next, I told you guys about the cheater project bags from Vera Bradley. So that was in this. This is my stitch I told you about that I started for my Sunday friend, Caitlin. She had sent me some beautiful fabric. So this is out of the Blackbird book, A Heart Remembers, and I am doing the cover stitch, which is A Heart Remembers, or title stitch. What do you call this? Anyway, so that's what I'm working on. She sent me a beautiful piece of 56 count that I showed you guys last time, and so I have been just a little bit, not a ton, working on this. It's still in its hoop. So I've got border here, I've got the house finished and started the flower there. So this is a beautiful 56 count. It is 56 count lap and loops in the color Small Potatoes. And again, I think, yes, I just pulled, I have a library card. Colleen, Rebel Stitcher, started using library cards like several years ago, and I was like, that's a genius idea. So I had ordered like 500 of them on Amazon. And so I will just write like the called for and then write my conversion to the side of it. And that way I've got that ready to go. So that is such a fun, tiny little stitch. And that fabric, I know I told you guys last time that it is a really good like intro into high count 56, because it's not an even weave, but it almost feels like that because your needle just glides into it so easily. And so I really like that a lot. This is the first time that I have used a lap and loops. Okay, the thing that I was working on today, so I got to go to Stitchin' at the Mill today at Shelly Fry Antique Needleworker. I got to go to her house today and stitch at the mill, and it was so relaxing. The weather was beautiful today. There was just this nice breeze when you would walk outside. We got to kind of like tour her property, and it was just a really nice little, like, it was so nice. I met some very lovely ladies there, and I got to talk to. I've met them all before, but I got to talk to some very lovely ladies there. It was just a really nice, relaxing stitch day. So I drove there. It was about 2 hours. I drove there this morning, drove home this afternoon, and just really had a great time. But if you've watched Hobbies of Holly, Flosstube from last week, you know she was going too. And I bought us this 1897 Schoolhouse samplers. I bought these from Evertote and did the Carrie and Caroline conversion. And so today, Holly started this one and I started this one. I have plans to go ahead and do both samplers, and it's a lot smaller than I thought it was. So I went ahead and started this today just because we were together and thought that would be a nice thing to do. So we did that, like, I think I got them like a year ago. So that was kind of nice. And I'll show you, here is, let me show you this on the back. Here is the start that I had. So I actually did, like, for a stitch day and how much I chat, I had a good little start there. So I'm really enjoying this. It is all the Roxy Floss Co. conversion. And so the color palette, let me set this there. The color palette is gorgeous. So I'm really, really enjoying that. We should have enough fabric and floss to do both samplers. If we do not, the only thing we might run out of is fabric, but we'll see about that. So that was a nice little start today. I feel like I don't have a ton of stitching to show you, but I'm gonna keep going anyway. Okay, I did pull this out to work on. Just, you know, there are sometimes when pieces you're like, oh, I really want to yank that out and work on it. Like, just feels good. This is a piece that I ordered from the attic after Jean showed it like a year ago with her floss conversion. So it says this is Constant Companion from Erica Michaels. And I've shown you this before. I don't think, let me see. I'm working on updating my planner with some of the new whips that I've started. I don't know. Oh, let me see, 22. I don't have a progress picture. I thought I might have a progress picture, but I do not. I am working on updating my iPad planner and like consistently putting pictures in every time I stitch. And so I am working on that. It's just taking a little bit longer. So, the nice thing about this, let me show you guys this. So if I'm looking for a whip, I can open all my planners, and I've shown you guys this before in several videos, and I will just say right now, this is a digital whip planner from QuirksandStitches on Etsy. This is what the front will look like when you buy it on Etsy. I always link it in the description box below because I show it often. And Jen Lee has really just done an incredible job. So if this is your first time seeing this, let's say that I were to pull out my, let's see, let me see. Nope, that's not right. I say this as if this shall be easy. 13. Okay, so let's say that I pull out In His Image by Teresa Kogut. So I can pull it up and I can show you, like, here's what it looks like. Now I have charts. I do not have a pattern in here that I do not physically have the chart for. So here's the chart. It's super cute. Then I can scroll and here's my floss conversion. Here is the last picture that I took, which I actually desperately need to update that because I have a lot more than just this done. I say that, maybe I don't have a lot more, but I have a considerable amount more. But I can show you when I'm talking to you about it, I can show you the last picture I took, like here's where I was at and here's what I've stitched now. So I love this planner, not only for that purpose, for Flosstube, but just to show me where I'm at with my whips. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these journals. And once you buy one, you can copy them within GoodNotes however many times you want. So mine are all in the sections that I have my whip library. So Christmas, fall / Thanksgiving, patriotic, spring, our home, bee, friendship, and then if I'm doing any gift stitching, I have a planner just specifically for that. So with that being said though, let's say I'm looking for Constant Companion and I don't think that I have put that in my planner. I think. There are some whips, some new starts that I don't get in my planner, and then I put them away and forget to do it. But I could look for it. So let's say I want to search. Now, I have handwritten, so you'll see. I have handwritten each one. This software will read my handwriting. So I can type Constant Companion, and I don't have it. But if you'll notice, so it gives me like search results and highlights my own handwriting and says like, oh, it's in this notebook. So I love this. Definitely worth the organization, the time that it takes to get it organized. For Mother's Day, my kids got me an Apple Pencil for my iPad mini, which is what I stitch from most of the time, so that I can, because Apple is so dumb. I can't use the Apple Pencil that I use for my big iPad for my tiny iPad. They're not compatible. So the boys bought me a new one, which was so kind of them. Anyway, so all that to say, I'm working on Constant Companion by Erica Michaels in jeans colorway. Here is the one I'm doing. Here it says, no one can look upon the needle without emotion. It is a constant companion through the pilgrimage of life. So I am doing this all in the Swasser Fiends. And here I am. I pulled this out just to work on it, so I haven't actually worked on it yet. I pulled it out. I cleaned my office this week. So I had a procedure done earlier this week, and I thought I need to clean my office so that when I have this procedure, I can just relax and stitch and all the things. So here's your reminder. If you have bad veins in your legs, get them checked. Don't let them go, or it can turn very bad. So, okay. The other thing that I was supposed to start today, and this is actually something I made since I last saw you. I was supposed to start this today. I'm going to start this as soon as I'm done filming tonight because I didn't take the right fabric choice. I thought I did, but it's actually a quite large piece. And so I felt like I didn't have, like, it wasn't quite going to fit on a fat quarter of 40. So I'm going to move to a fat quarter 46 and it should fit just perfectly. But you guys, I made a project folder. So I'm a part of the the Hands Across the Sea Facebook group. Guys, I've stepped into 2025. I don't do anything on Facebook, but I have joined a few groups that I really like exclusives from. So the colors are reading super poorly on the camera, but I promise you it doesn't stand out. This green doesn't stand out as much as it looks. This green is the same green as in some of these flowers. So anyway, all that to say, when you order from Nicola, she will send you, if you're part of that Facebook group, you have to be part of the Facebook group. She lets you have an early exclusive to Queen of the May. And so I ordered that. And when you order a physical copy, you get 2 fabric panels, a smaller one and then a larger one. I chose to do the smaller one and I made a project folder. So I've got that, which is great. This is some of the cutest fabric. I just went to my quilt shop, looked through their clearance stuff actually. So I have a pocket here, and then a zipper vinyl pocket here. So it took me an entire day to make it because we were also wrapping up our spring semester, but now we're done. We're done with school. We have some summer stuff to do. So our oldest has now officially completed his freshman year of high school. We didn't murder each other. It was totally fine. It was hard to get through, but we both learned a lot. And when I tell you the maturity that has happened over the last year with school is night and day different from last year, it just makes me so proud of my kids. So, and especially him. So, okay. So this is the 2025 Queen of the May, Elizabeth Stevenson. If you have not seen this, It has swans. If you've been around for the last 2 years, you know that I learned the sampler meaning, the representation in samplers of what a swan is, and I am obsessed, absolutely obsessed. I'm not gonna show you this quilt, but I'll tell you about it here in a little bit because it's in the basket, but it has swans and I love it. So after I'm done here, I'm gonna pull some 46 count and start this. I just did all the DMCs. I did not do any of the silks. So that was all of my stitching from today and the last couple of weeks. I did get some things while I was there today. My sweet friend gifted me this book from Market from Swatity. I may not say that right. So I cannot wait to flip through this. And speaking of swans, I did not know that this was a whole series. So now I feel the need to collect them all. And then this looks so dainty. So this is a French summer sampler from QuirksandStitches or Shakespeare's Peddler. I wanted to see what color, I wanted to see if those flowers are variegated floss or are they one color, if it's focusing. So I opened this. This is my first pattern, I think, that I've had of hers. I've bought some things from Kitten Stitcher, some D-stash things that she was selling. But I think this is the first Shakespeare Peddler that I have. Her paper is like butter. I don't know what she uses, but it's beautiful. So I'm excited to have that. And then this one was called Spring Swan by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, if you were wondering. Okay. Let me see. I got some fabric, Portobello. I am in the club for Bee Stitch Me. That is 46 count. This is a really pretty like purple gray, which is nice. Okay, so this folded here, this gray, is a quilt that I had made for a friend's birthday and have not finished it, have not sent it out, but I wanted to show you the pattern because it's another, if you remember, I showed you the dinosaur quilt when my nephew was born in January. I showed you the dinosaur quilt that I made by Elizabeth Hartman. So this is the swan quilt by Elizabeth Hartman, and I made this version, but changed the background from pink to gray, obviously. So super fun. I would highly recommend her patterns if you kind of like this style of quilting. She explains everything really, really well. The cutting instructions are incredible. I cannot explain, I don't know how well they are. She'll tell you like, you need a strip of 24.5 by 2.5. And from that strip, cut these things. So I'm really afraid that Tech Eye is too loud. I apologize. Okay. I for Mother's Day took my mom to a secret bookshop in Brown County, Indiana, which is Nashville, Indiana. There's this coffee shop that she is actually a secret bookshop, which just means it's a coffee shop that sells books. You just don't know that she sells books unless you go in there. She has wall to wall to wall. I mean, she just stacks shelves, stacks on the floor, stacks in baskets of just books and old books and new books. And I mean, just so thousands of books. And so for Mother's Day, I took my mom, and for 3.5 hours, she just perused all these used books to her heart's content. You can fill a bag for $10, and she filled 2. And I sat and stitched in a chair while she did that. And it was just fun for her to have company to look through all the books. The owner, her name is Iris. If you ever go there, it's called Common Grounds. If you are ever in Brown County, go see Iris. She is the sweetest, human. I was working on, I feel like I don't have all my stitching here, because what was I working on? Oh no, I was working on Martha Miller, and she was just enamored with the fact that I was stitching, and she just thought it was so cool. So if you're in Brown County or Nashville, go to Common Ground. She's a secret bookstore. She's phenomenal. Anyway, so I found this book by the Ideals publication, just called Friendship. And it is just a whole book of poems, of like beautiful pictures. I mean, stunning. So I was just excited to have this, like, just, I don't know. It's just fun. So this came out in, and I love this. This was To the Follies from the Adams, 1966 is when they gifted this to their friends. And I just, oh my gosh, if you're a designer and you need a quote, that's fun. I'm not sure how all of the copyright situation works, but there's some really good friendship poems in there, and I love that. Speaking of being a part of the Queen City Sampler Guild, Stitching Guild, Sampler Guild, I always get that wrong. This is called, and you've probably seen this. You've probably seen this already on other floss tubes. I know you have. But this is from Plum Street Samplers, Paulette Stewart. This is called Upon My Heart. And it is an exclusive that was made for the anniversary of the guild this year. So beautiful. I would like to hop up to Always in Stitches and get the flosses for this. That same bookstore trip, look what I found. I bought two. I gifted one, and then this is the one I kept. This one is summer of 1949, and it's called McCall the Needlework. And it is so fun, you guys. I just sat and like looked through the pictures alone. Are just darling. I'm trying to show you. So like here's knitting needle ad. It's just so fun. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but his and hers cashmere companion. This is for knitting yarns. This is called Wonderized anti-shrink, anti-matting knitting yarns. Are these not just so fun? Wear it and wear it, wash it and wash it. So it's just a fun little. Here's an ad for Brene. I love this. This cost 35 cents in 1949. I thought it was gorgeous. Look at that on the back. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Anything else that I should show you? I don't think so. I think that's it. I got some color and cotton fabric. Very pretty. This one is coconut. So I always get the 40 count of color and cotton. Oh, I do have something. So my grandmother's very best friend, and then I have one more pattern to show you. My grandmother's very best friend. My grandma died when I was in high school, and I miss her so dearly. She's the one who, like, I'm probably most like her. She was a quilter. She was a seamstress. She owned her own curtain business. She really taught me to be crafty. And anyway, she passed away when I was in high school, and her daughter, my aunt, married my grandmother's best friend's son. Did you follow that? So my aunt is married to my grandma's best friend's son. So while his mom is not my actual grandmother, she's my cousin's grandmother, but she is like a grandma to me because they were so stinking close. And she just turned 96 this year, and she is moving in with my aunt and uncle in North Carolina to just enjoy the sunshine there. So they're selling her house here, and it's just been a hard transition as it is with, grandparents. and she invited me over last week. She's moving, like they had an estate sale last weekend, finished the estate sale this weekend, loaded the U-Haul today. Nathan helped him while he was working and I was gone, and they're leaving Monday morning. They're rolling out Monday morning. With that being said, I was invited over last week to have some of her quilting things. And she is a seamstress. She made all the polyester clothes. So there was a lot of polyester, but I did take some of it, and then she had lots of quilting cotton. But you guys, she also had like quilt pieces. This is just a strip, but like of definitely old clothing that she was just making into strips like this. She also had, I mean, the 70s, right? So she's got several of these. So for my 3 cousins, I'll be making a quilt for each of them out of the fabric that she gave me. So while I thought that she made these are actually from her mother. So she's 96, and a lot of these blocks, I have a stack of these that are from her mother. So they are all completely hand-pieced. I love them. And like this fabric, look how darling this fabric is. And it does not have, like, the salvage doesn't say anything. It doesn't have a date on it like that. They didn't do that. So I'm excited to do that for those girls. I know they will deeply, deeply appreciate it. So I'm excited to do that. Okay, the last thing I have to show you is, yesterday was May 16th, and Tekai and I, Nathan and I, celebrated 16 years of marriage. And I have had this kitted for maybe a year or so. And it is Let Love Reign by Teresa Kogut. And I just love this book. So my intent is to start the sampler that says love your family. If you want to change the world, go home and love your family. I was going to start this yesterday and I just wasn't feeling great. So I rested and didn't start this, but my intent is to start it maybe tomorrow. So I have a work trip on Monday. I might take it with me there and start it there. Okay. Friends, I think that's all I have to show you. It's a very short video. But I thought before I like go take a shower, get all my makeup off. When's the last time you guys saw me in makeup? But such is life. That's okay. I am thankful to have a clean office, and I have like a whole stitchy spot now, which I've had. I filmed the kit parade in my stitchy spot, but I've cleaned my office. It's now completely decluttered, and just really looking forward to a summer of stitching. What are your summer plans? Do you really have any? And yeah, I'm just curious what your summer plans are. So, all right. I thank you guys for joining me in the hive today. I really appreciate it. This was kind of a sporadic video. Hopefully you can hear me and not as much tech guy. But I felt like I just had I had some energy left over and thought, while I unpack my bag anyway, I might as well share with you what I was stitching. So thank you for joining me in the hive today, and you'll have a great afternoon.